From the Newstalk ZB newsroom, this is Newsfix.
In this update, a number of people are believed to have serious injuries after a multi-vehicle crash in Sefton in the Waimakariri district about 10 a.m. A helicopter and other emergency services are at Main Road North. The route's blocked with diversions at Wiley's and Amesbury roads, and motorists are advised to avoid the area. In Australia, new laws banning the Nazi salute and displaying or trading of symbols like the swastika come into effect today. There are exemptions for academic, educational and journalistic purposes. Penalties include up to a year in prison. Still in Australia, 8 people are in a critical condition, allegedly after consuming MDMA at a Melbourne rave festival. Victoria's ambulance union says 7 have been placed in induced comas and require breathing tubes. It's prompted calls for the Victorian government to introduce pill testing at festivals. A $350,000 archive of Māori images is heading home, saved from destruction by the National Library of New Zealand. The 5,300 photos depicting Māori life from the early 20th century has been in foreign ownership for more than a decade. They document key figures and political events, such as the Bastion Point occupation. Auckland University's Professor Paul Moon says it's part of a collection of 1.4 million images held by a US firm which went bankrupt.
It's a colourful history, but the key point is that this particular archive was at risk of being destroyed. It was rescued and now it's been effectively repatriated.
Gaza health officials say 2 Palestinian freelance journalists have been killed by an Israeli airstrike on a car near Rafah in southern Gaza. Al Jazeera says it was a deliberate attack. Fallout continues for Prince Andrew after the release of documents relating to the Jeffrey Epstein case. King Charles has reportedly ruled out his brother ever returning to royal duties, as he also looks to force the prince out of Windsor's Royal Lodge. The Duke of York's name appears more than 70 times in 1,000 pages of recently unsealed interviews and transcripts. That's news. In sport, Cameron Bancroft will find out tomorrow if he's earned a recall to the Australian Test cricket side for the first time since 2019 as a replacement for the retired David Warner. He claims to have healed from the sandpaper ball tampering scandal in Cape Town the previous year and deserves a chance to atone. Bancroft has the most Sheffield Shield runs this season, with 512 for Western Australia at an average of 56. The first test against the West Indies starts next Wednesday in Adelaide. Track cyclist Aaron Gate expects next month's World Cup event, also in Adelaide, to indicate whether New Zealand's men's team pursuit will be a medal prospect at the Paris Olympics. Gate's returning to the pedals at the New Zealand Cycle Classic this week after breaking his collarbone on the Tour of Denmark. That's sport. I'm Malcolm Jordan.
For more news, listen to Newstalk ZB live on iHeartRadio.